So you're thinking about buying a new construction home, but you don't really know too much about the process or whether it's going to be a good idea or not. Well, stick around for the rest of this video because I'm going to break down pros and cons associated with buying a brand new home construction. I decided to alter the name of The Shot to the $4 million shot. The reason I decided to rename this segment of the video is really simple. With all the energy that I have and that I bring to these YouTube videos, for me to do all the hype, all the buildup, all of the personality, just to say The Shot, I don't know, to me just sounds so underwhelming. So thus, this point forward, I will be calling The Shot the $4 million shot. And now without further delay, introducing the $4 million shot. All right, I'm gonna take a dribble this time. Let's see where we're at. Oh, in and out. That's one of the worst ones. Okay, so getting into the video, what I want to start with are the cons. And the reason I want to start with the cons is because I prefer out with the bad immediately and then tie everything together on a positive note. So we're doing cons and pros, even though the video is titled Pros and Cons of new home construction. So starting off with con number one has to be that the landscaping in the area is less mature. And the reason the landscaping in a new home built community is less mature is typically because when builders go in and they purchase a plot of land, what they're gonna do is they're gonna rip everything out, from the trees to the bushes, to the grass, everything comes up and it makes way for their plots of land and the lots that they are eventually going to sell to the end consumer. Now, some people don't think this is a really big deal, specifically out here in California. A lot of people are not used to the big, lavish, huge trees that you might see somewhere back in Texas or Oklahoma. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist in California. What I am saying is California is known for the beautiful palm trees that we have out here. Con number two has to be higher taxes. And the reason why this con made the list is because a lot of people don't particularly pay attention to what the tax rate is going to be within a community, period. To be honest, I've talked to homeowners and people who used to own homes in the past. They did not account for property taxes at all. Now, what these developers will do is they will take on loans from the city in order to install roads, electrical grids, and infrastructure needed to maintain the community itself. This loan is paid down every single year and the bill is footed by, well, the people that live within the community. Many home buyers are taken aback by the fact that the taxes within a brand new constructed home community can be so expensive. This is why it's so very important for you to be working with a real estate agent who is well versed in new home construction. And not only just new home construction, but a realtor that actually works close hand in hand with whatever the new build community you're looking to move into is. Reason being is that agent is going to have a relationship with the sales representative at said community sales center. And so with that relationship comes a deep understanding of how that community and how that developer operates. Now, the third, and I'll make the final con of this video, has to be the timeline. And the reason why this con made the list particularly is because some home buyers don't have the luxury of waiting 6 months to a year to buying their house. Reason being is they might be coming towards the end of their lease and they had been going back and forth figuring out if they want to buy a house or go into another apartment or renting another home. So when they come to the conclusion that they would much rather buy a newly constructed home, they're kind of thrown off by the fact that it could take anywhere from 6 to 12, maybe even 18 months to construct your home. I've worked with clients who've had 6 months to figure out where they want to move and decide on a property. And I've worked with clients who say, hey, we want to move within the next 30 days. Let's get something done. That's why it is so very important that you work with a realtor that specializes in new home construction. That agent is going to understand the dynamics and the process and all of the fees associated with going through buying your first new construction home. Okay, now this is the really fun part. Now we're moving towards the pros of buying a new construction home. Let's get to it. Wait, but before we continue with the video, I have to be honest, I have to shoot another $4 million shot because the in and out is really bothering me, and I cannot, in this video on the in and out, miss. Can't do it. All right, so $4 million shot, take two. We don't do in and outs. Oh, barely missed. But I will take that rebound, thank you. Oh, I didn't call backboard, but I'll take it. Now moving on to the pros of buying a new construction home. First and foremost, the ability to personalize and customize. The reason this is so big is typically working with a home builder, you have a say in whether you want a lavish backsplash in your kitchen, or if you want something more chill, more relaxed, something that's not going to grab everybody's attention. Or if you're someone who's looking to have a pool in their backyard versus someone who'd rather just have the entire backyard set up to be an entertainment space for lots of people. Although I'm not saying you can't have a pool and an entertainment friendly space. Just saying some people might prefer one or the other. But at the end of the day, a great thing about new construction homes is your ability to customize the property to your liking. Now, keeping in mind that with upgrades and all of the things that you would want to make your house as personalized as possible, you have to take into consideration and understand that these are extra costs associated with buying the house itself. So if you see a new construction home site that says starting at $1.799 million, you need to be aware that that's the base model, no added features, no added nothing. But again, that's where your realtor comes in to explain to you all of the costs associated with building the perfect house for you and your family. Pro number two is the fact that this is a home that you are going to be the very first person to live in, ever. What does that mean? That means this home is going to be extra clean. This home is not going to have anything really for you to fix. Now, of course, there can be some malfunctions from time to time, which with anything brand new, you're bound to run into something. Now, there's a lot of pride that comes with being the first person to ever step foot in and live in a particular home. This leads me to pro number three, which is a simple one that I don't really have to harp on too much. You don't need to update anything. As we all know, when you go through the home buying process and you find a house that you absolutely fall in love with, if it's a resold home, chances are there are some defects with that house, which of course you'll find out through the inspection with a really good inspector. But with a brand new home, you're really not gonna find too many defects or too many issues with the house itself because it was just built. This is just like going to the Apple store and buying the newest iPhone. Is there a possibility that there are some defects? Absolutely, that possibility is always everywhere. But the likelihood that those defects are so major that you'll want to return the phone, the odds are slim to none. My next pro of buying new home construction has to be the fact that a lot of these homes that are being constructed now are built energy efficient. There are articles circulating the internet where these electric companies are concerned about the rising utility costs in 2021 alone. A few of the reasons a lot of these homes are able to maintain an energy efficient life cycle, if you will, include installing vinyl windows, new door trim and seals, and better insulation within the walls to keep out drafts. By the way, I said drafts, not giraffes. If it sounded like giraffes, I promise giraffes are not coming in your house. The next pro on the list has to be home builder warranties. The reason home builder warranties are so pivotal when purchasing a new construction home is typically because a lot of the things that are not going to be covered by your home insurance, the builder is typically going to cover because they just built the product. The developer is probably still building homes within the community itself, so it's not even going to be hard for them to get their employees who help make the house fix whatever the issue could possibly be. And capping off, the final pro of this video has to be homebuyer financing incentives. Now, of course, in mid-July, here in California, we're not seeing a lot of financing incentives. The reason is, based on a video that I've addressed in the past, is right now what we're seeing is low supply and high demand within the housing market. The whole point of an incentive is to, well, incentivize or help bring people to the product that you're offering. If there's no real reason to dangle the carrot, take the carrot away and people are still going to eat whatever dinner you have to serve, or breakfast or lunch, or whatever you're eating. Developers are typically going to bring in a third-party lender who's going to offer said incentives. The incentives are simple. If you work with our lender, who we're partnered with, they will offer you an incentive of money towards your closing costs. But this is a great way to get your foot in the door of, one, a brand new construction home, and two, money off of the purchase. Honestly, it doesn't get much better than that, but just be aware of the fact that we're not seeing a lot of that from home builders in today's market. Not saying it's impossible, it's just a rarity right now. In conclusion, nothing on planet Earth ever comes with no cons to pros. But as we can see, according to my list, I believe that there are more pros than cons when it comes to buying a new construction home. At the end of the day, it comes down to your preference and your budget. So whatever works best for you is definitely what you have to take in mind and consider with the family. I listed more pros in this video because I see more value in buying a new construction home than I see cons in buying a brand new construction home. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. I look forward to dropping another video next week, this same time and day. In the meantime, go ahead and newly construct more likes on the like button, smash the subscribe button, and flick the notification bell so that you're notified whenever my videos come up every week. And with that, I've got nothing else for you guys. I'm out.